Calling all nerds. This is More Than Dice, the podcast where we dive deep into the realms of everything nerdy. Whether you're a nerd culture connoisseur, a tabletop titan, a miniature gaming marveler, or just someone who proudly embraces their inner geek, this is the podcast for you. And now, let's get to the show.
And welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
Mizzy.
I'm Nessie.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the new year.
Yes. Happy
Yeah,
New Year.
yeah, it is a new year. It's been so weird. Woo! 2026.
We're out of the time warp and we have entered 2026 light.
Yeah,
Right.
light. Yeah, we've come to 2026. It's the first podcast of the new year with all the cool changes. Nestor is going to be providing daily reels every hour on the hour for everybody to watch. So
The look of terror on your face. There's so much concern there.
Okay. I'll get it done.
Good
guys,
for you, because I won't.
welcome to the new year. We've got a lot of changes going on this year, and it's also why today's episode is about hobby New Year's resolutions. Not only are we going to be talking about miniature ones, RPG ones, you name it. We're just going to be talking about all the different resolutions that we're going to have. Plus, we've also got changes from the podcast. We've got we're going to be doing a lot more Warcrow, Corvus Belli, Infinity stuff coming out. Nestor is going to have some stuff being shipped to him shortly that he's going to do it. Nestor is our head honcho and special person for Infinity. He knows about it more than Mizzy and I do. We've only played a little bit in some demo games, so he is the head hoopa or whatever you want to call on that. So he'll be handling a lot of that stuff. And then, of course, we'll be doing all the Warcrow. Mizzy and I have got some other smaller games that we're going to be setting up to do some stuff, some Relic Knights. And then we've got, some Trench Crusade and a couple of miniature games that we're going to try out throughout the year that we want to do some testing on. But we got a lot of that stuff going. We are doing some more sponsorships. If you don't know, we did sponsor Boker Brawl. Shout out to Seth and the boys. If you're in the New England area, make sure you go check them out for all your War Machine related stuff. We just sent out roughly, and I just calculated up because we got more stuff that's being sent, over $4,000 worth of merchandise.
Jeez.
I am both very proud of us. That also makes
scared.
me really sick to
Yeah.
realize that the collective we had that much stuff
Yes.
On top of what I'm going
unboxed.
Yes.
Or not unboxed. It's still in the package.
Yeah.
on top of whatever I find in a corner over there that I have that I'll be sending out to Seth as well. So
Yeah. We are doing a little bit of sponsorship for the Warcrow at Adepticon. I already talked to Scott Tipsword. We're going to be giving away some terrain and then some other package stuff. He's going to figure out how that's going to work on his end, so we're just let him deal with that. I know that we're going to provide some table terrain. I did have him hook up with someone to do mats. They're working a deal out, so hopefully they can get some cool new mats. Be awesome.
Yep. And I'll be getting some Infinity miniatures and such for the Infinity event. So
yeah, which I do have. I have some Infinity stuff that I'm not going to use that I'm going to give to Scott also because it's not my faction and such. So I'm going to be giving that to him so he can give that away and such. What else? We are looking forward to a bunch of new Warcrow stuff coming out. This is going to be a pretty hot topic for us on this podcast tonight. And then what else? We have any other donations? I am looking to have a new special miniature made It is in the process. We did do a revision on a miniature for the podcast, so we're just going to have to wait to see how that kicks off. So, other than that, like I said, our first one is the new one is going to be our hobby New Year's resolution, and next week is going to be our "Why did we choose Warcrow" episode. I've had a few people ask, why are y'all doing Warcrow over War Machine? Blah 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 blah, and people wanted to know. And it's like says it's nothing against War Machine. It's not against anybody at War Machine or Steamforce Games. It's just you'll have to watch the episode and find out of why we chose Warcrow over War Machine to concentrate on for the next year. And actually in Infinity too, because I've actually got it's right there. These little bunch of gray circles in the map in the picture are base toppers for my Infinity army that I need to glue onto my bases.
A Ziploc bag.
Oh yeah, you have the actual bases. I decided to redo everything and put it on, do base toppers and such. But before we do that, we're going to get to some of our business. We want to thank Turbo Dork for sponsoring us for all these many years. Make sure you go check them out. They started doing special packaging and special boxing, and like got some stuff where you can get a brush, a stir stick, and some paint together all in one type thing. We also want to thank Eldritch Foundry for if you want to make your own miniature for whatever role-playing game you're playing. Highly recommend it. Very quick, very easy. We've done it for all of the campaigns that I've done, and some online and some in-person ones, which IRLs, which we do have a new campaign coming up in person. We are going to be using the Draw Steel rules for that, and we're going to see how that works. It's a whole new group of people too. I should say that back. Mizzy and Erica are going to be there, and then we've got two other couples that are going to be there too.
New friends.
New friends. So we got campaign 2 coming up, and it is going to be a doozy. Speaking of Draw Steel, I see Big Jim Slade in there. Hopefully him and I we'll get some talking later in about some good Draw Steel because we've been going back and forth on it. I did find a good printable GM screen and everything, so we got some cool stuff on that. Been reading up on it, doing a bunch of other things, so lots of stuff happening. Sure, call it the lurker. Of course I did, Jim. I see
in the shadows.
I see you over there. Before we go any further on that, Nestor, what are you drinking tonight?
I got a Coke Zero. Ooh, and a water somewhere down here.
Somewhere.
It's here. Oh, yeah, here it is. Yeah. So I didn't have time to put it in my fancy Yeti.
Maisie, what are you drinking tonight?
I probably picked one of the worst things for me, but at the same time, it is good for my mental health because it is absolutely delicious, and it is taro bubble tea. So, taro bubble tea. Unfortunately, I do not have a boba straw, so I'm gonna have to dig out my little bubbles once I get to them. But that's okay.
I'm doing the healthy thing and just drinking some good old fashioned water. Didn't do hardly any drinking or anything, but just needed to make sure I did that and keep myself healthy. Do we have any shout outs? Didn't there was like one.
Did one of the guys from It pass away?
Oh, yep.
Oh my god, I feel so bad. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was a couple of other. I mean, this is the time warping time, so we don't know who. And everything.
James Ransone?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he passed away, unfortunately.
Go ahead, sorry.
I think he died from suicide.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Do have to do a shout out for the Epic Gamer Grandma, the one that was playing Skyrim a lot, Skyrim Granny.
Oh yes,
she passed away at the age of 78. And so we'll have to give a shout out to her. I think that was about it. Other than that, guys, we appreciate everything that you do. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you hanging out, if whether you're online or whatever. Our Spotify has actually it's grown. We're over 20,000 listens on Spotify right now, so we're growing there a lot. It seems like a lot of people listen to us through our RSS feed, which is good. We want people to be able to catch us in any way possible, but we're going to be doing that. So make sure you listen to us either here, YouTube, wherever you can find us. We don't have a problem with it. But as always, people, please take care of yourself. Please look after each other. Please look after yourself, especially now. And for what it's worth, you know, try to find some happiness out there. Cheers.
Cheers. Well,
So, today's episode, we're going to be talking about hobby New Year's resolutions. And I know that they've written down their lists and they've got 20 things to talk about, all in detail, because I gave this to y'all about 2 weeks ago. But knowing y'all,
this is the scene where I'm looking for my homework and thinking my dog did it. I don't
Gonzo,
have a dog.
you know this by now. I make shit up as I go.
we all do.
Yeah.
But the one thing I wanted to talk about is a lot of people, we were talking about, what we were going to do to change up the channel and, the direction that we're going miniature gaming wise. And it got me thinking about this and our New Year's resolution and such. And I wanted to start this off by us doing one thing and one thing only. And our basic New Year's resolution, and mine's going to be from this year on, is doing things that make me happy. I don't care what it is. If I, hey, I need to build a Gundam. I don't need to build a Gundam. I want to build a Gundam.
Yeah.
Type thing. I need to paint an army. If I want to play at Adepticon, yeah, I need to. But I want to be able to paint my army. I want to do things that make me happy. And that's kind of why this channel has kind of moved over a bit on because we weren't playing War Machine, we weren't doing this, we weren't doing certain things, and we wanted to concentrate on something that was making us happy. And right now that is Warcrow. Knowing Nestor and his ADHD, it could be, Tiddlywinks next week. But we wanted to make sure that we
I have a comment. That comment is the one consistency Nestor will always have is collecting Gundams.
So, caveat to that. I am on a break of buying new Gundams for 2026.
You are on a break? Are you sure you're on a break?
Listen, this is not a Ross and Rachel type of situation where I wrote a 12-page double-sided letter to myself. It is, I am buying only things necessary for my classes in 2026. That does not mean, oh, look, a new G-Quox kit came out. I need to get it. No. It means if I need to buy a entry grade Gundam Wing 0 for my customized class, I will buy those and those only. That's it. So no new kits. Build what I have for at least 2026. I did this with no Kickstarters a few years back. I was very successful. So that is one of my New Year's resolutions. I will not buy any new Gundam kits for 2026.
So you specifically will not buy for yourself. Is what I'm
Do Do not shine the light on the loophole that is there.
Yeah, because we see the loophole in this. That
How about we don't mention loophole?
the loophole is
Gonzo, you cannot buy him Gundams. You gotta keep him accountable.
I could just see it. Nessie comes up to me and he's like tapping his credit card on. He's like, Gonzo, I'll give you an extra $5 if you just buy this for me. Just buy this for me. Buy this for me, and then I'll give you $5 extra for it.
I can actually also see fans and friends being, hey Nestor, here's a new Gundam kit out of nowhere.
Wink, wink, nudge.
Wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
You know,
Say no more.
like
Say
I'll
no
be
more.
like, I'll Venmo you the money in 2027.
Yeah, I can see where this is going. But so why aren't you buying any more Gundam kits for at least a year?
So I have 80 plus kits.
Holy shit!
In a backlog, right? And I bought a new shelf to really display the kits I have. And I want to try. I can't do 80 kits. That's. I have a life. I have a daughter. I have a girlfriend. I want to stay with my girlfriend. I can't build all these kits in one year, but if I can make an effort of not buying new kits and just building what I have and displaying them, then I can say go into 2027 saying, okay, these are the kits I missed out on in 2026. Let me go out and get those. Knowing that one, I have the space, and two, I can focus on building them as well as soon as I buy them. At least that's the plan.
Big Jim says like this. I'm going to reduce my pile of shame. Literally every gamer everywhere.
Yes, yes. But it's not a pile of shame in 2026. It's a pile of opportunity.
Pile of potential.
Potential. It's not, and they can't call it a gray pile of shame because it's colored by Bandai. Mm-hmm.
Your unpainted pile of shame.
Yeah. Oh God. No. The goal for 2020. There's a lot of goals for 2026 for gaming, and one of them, and even gaming and hobbying, is that one goal for 2026 so far is no new Gundams unless it's for classes. Like, hey, I need to buy the entry grade kits, or I need to buy the high grade kits for my introduction classes. That's separate. That's teaching.
Yeah, that's not your hobby. It's you're providing it for your students and then going out from there.
If I happen to buy a kit that I don't own and I end up with an extra, oh, okay.
Not okay, Nestor. That's another one of damn loopholes. I see you.
I have like 4.
That tracks.
So
yeah.
But I mean, and that goes back to, doing stuff that makes us happy. I mean, you look at your pile and you're like 80. I won't be able to get 80 built, during the year, but that's something that you needed to, say that you had to do on. And right now I think I got 5 Gundam kits right now. And I'm like, I don't think I want to buy any more. I want to get those built, and I have that third-party one, that Apocalypseo or whatever it is. And I want to put that one because that one looks gorgeous, but that one's huge beyond belief. But that's going to have to take a back seat because we've got to get ready for Adepticon, type thing. And then also and I've got my online stuff.
I have 20 here just piled up in next to my bookshelf. And
staring at you, judging you.
It is. There are a bunch of Gundam Wing kits, a bunch of Gundam 00, some Macross 7 kits. So there's a lot in just this pile here. And not to mention underneath. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, not to harp on that. But Yeah, it's the stuff that makes you happy, and if it means I focus on not spend, it's one, saving me money, two, keeping me on task, and three, um it lets me build up my internal hype, right? Like, hey,
Hmm.
I want to build all these kits that I spent the money to and time, I want to build them, and there's a reason why I bought them. So if it means sacrificing 2026 so I can focus on building them, sometimes you have to do that.
All right, so I'm not going to buy any more Gundams. Nessie's not going to buy any more Gundams.
Mizzy's gonna buy all
Mizzy,
the.
are you going to buy all the Gundams, or are you not going to buy any Gundams?
I'm not going to buy any Gundams because I still have the Gundam from Nestor's class in like 2019 when I took that class that is still not completely assembled. I know exactly where everything's at. It's just waiting. But it can wait because there's other things I want to do, and that's okay.
No, that's perfectly fine.
And like I said, this also comes back to the whole thing of doing stuff that makes us happy. Because the New Year's resolutions are just guidelines to basically try to help us get situated in what we want to do. For example, painting. I always want to do something new and cool and interesting, and so that's what I'm going to work on this year. I need to get my my L's painted up and everything for Adepticon because the horse has
Hmm.
to be fully painted, and get that ready. So I need to finish that technique, and I've got it, and I know how to do it, and everything's down and everything's ready to go. But there's a few things I want to try because for my Infinity, I don't want to do. I'm playing military orders. Big shocker, big surprise. I have all of them. And Nestor's already shaking his head. Um, and
Bullshit.
gonna be playing military orders. And one, I like the look of the models. I think it's really cool, really neat. And I decided that I don't want to do a metallic metal or a colored metal or any color on my models for Infinity at all. I don't want to paint them like normal. And so I want to do a best way to put it. I want to do a standing in the dark with lights on for my Infinity model. So the Infinity models would be like prime black and dark gray and then highlighted up like they're in the dark. But anything that's supposed to light up like their eyes, swords, backpack, whatever, I'm going to try to do OSL so it looks like they're standing in the dark and the lights are the ones that are shining. Nestor's got his eyes in his head.
Loading, loading.
Loading.
Loading. I've done that, but I've done it for Malifaux, and it was but it wasn't exactly OSL. It was more of a Frank Miller style of black and white, like Sin City.
Yep.
Um,
Mhm.
so, but he would do. Uh, he did a couple of comics where it was just red, right? So if like
Yep.
the model had red in it somewhere, it would have red in it. So I did that for a couple of Malifaux figures that I really a warband of Malifaux that I really enjoyed painting. That because there was a company that did like sets, and they had Laurel and Hardy um as the models. They did the black and white color on, so it worked out really well. So I like that concept very much. I can't wait to see it.
I wanted to do a pretty much they're standing in the darkness, and the only thing that's going to be the color is going to be the electronics, whether it's their eyeballs, spotlight, you name it. That's kind of where I'm going to go with it. So that's what I'm gonna work on painting techniques and getting things done is going to be all that stuff because I
Yeah.
really want to I kind of want to push that because I don't think it's going to be a cheap and easy way to get out, but it's going to be a new way to make them kind of stand out on the battlefield, and make them look like they're actually standing in the dark, type thing.
Yeah.
So, and then of course I'm going to have to paint, all my elves, and my elves are going to be, the autumn look and everything. So, painting wise, I want to try new techniques. I want to try to get everything painted that I'm going to play with this year. Of course, Adepticon is going to be my start of that. And then really, I don't have much after that I need to paint. Because we're going to be concentrating on Warcrow a lot. I will have some other, models that I will have to paint up for things, but we're going to be testing that stuff out. And if I'm not going to play with it on a regular, I'm not going to paint it right now, because I've got a crap ton of stuff that I'm going to have to paint for my campaign, in-person campaign stuff. But we'll get to that when we get to the role-playing section. So, Nestor, Mizzy, which one? I mean, have you got any painting, things that you have to resolutions?
Just
Go for
paint
it, Missy.
more. I'm just gonna try to paint more and not procrastinate, and then have to change my list 5 different times before Adepticon next year.
Mm, that tracks.
Because
Yeah.
I had the very best of intentions, but sometimes they don't always work out, and then you find yourself going, oh, I have 10,000 goblins that I need to red caps that I need to paint, and I don't have the spoons for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that for Adepticon one year for Infinity. I picked a brand new army for Infinity. I would go to Brooklyn and play test the army and be like, man, this army's really cool. And 2 weeks before Adepticon, I switched out the army. I completely switched it out and speed painted like 14 Hakaslam models and was like, no, this will be fine. I can do this. And I think I painted up until the day I left because I had an afternoon flight. So I painted in the morning. And yeah, I'm not doing that this year. I can't do that. That's craziness. Like,
Yeah, so the last time I did something like that, it was for Warfare Weekend, not this last one, the one before it, when my Abyssal King came in and I painted that sucker in 3 days. I am never doing anything like that ever again in my entire life. I'm very proud that I did that, but I'm never doing that again.
Josh is known to do that. Josh is known to order something, wait for it, and it'll show up the day before he leaves and paint it because he's one of those painters like because he doesn't really sleep, he will paint up until like a certain amount of hours. And he'll paint it, he'll get it tabletop ready in and or he'll buy it at the convention and be like, "Why did you buy this? I thought you ordered it." Well, it showed up today. Oh, it showed up while you're on at the convention. Yes. So
Yes,
you
and I want to play with it, so I'm going to play with it. I'm going to
so
buy it again.
what are you going to do with the other one? I'll sell that one later. I'll return it or something. But it tracks because that's us gamers. I'm guilty of that myself. So, but he's the only person I know. Maybe there's a couple of others out there, but he's the only one I know that will buy a model in the morning on Thursday, have it built and painted by Thursday night, so he can use it Friday. Um, I'm sure there's others that do that Thursday, prime it Thursday, paint it
Oh, yeah.
Thursday, and play it Thursday. But I mean, I've seen that at Adepticon and plenty of times where you're
Mhm.
sitting at Fort Wapple and there's like 7 people. You know, there's one guy doing pouches, another one's doing guns, another one's doing, and you
Yep.
streamline the painting process just so you can play them at the convention. It happens. But we are not doing that.
Yeah, the rushing to get done, not going to happen.
Yeah.
That is kind of one of the things that, because I don't enjoy that. Like Mizzy says, she did it in 3 days just to get that model out. And technically, you didn't even have to because there was no painting requirement.
No,
But
I didn't have to, but I wanted
Wanted
to.
to.
yeah,
Yeah.
The inside of me screamed, "Paint this motherfucker right now!"
Yeah. Nope.
And I couldn't argue with it.
Yeah.
uh,
But
yeah, I think that's what I want to be able to make sure that, you know, for painting, that I am painting for enjoyment and not painting just to get shit done
Mhm.
type thing. Painting to create, the best way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the only thing I want to play at Adepticon Warcrow. My army is built. As of yesterday, it is fully built. All the models, unless they come out with something else from now until February, unless something shows up at March at Adepticon, but that's afterwards, right? Like the goal is anything that comes out, even February is kind of pushing it.
Yeah, because we were talking about that. We got February models, which could possibly be one elf, one feudum, and one scions. That's possibly
Yeah.
coming out in February. One possibly, but that one's going to be kind of hard to do. Hopefully, we can find out what those models are soon. Because if
Because they just released the previews. I mean, not the. They just released the husks, and the other line soldiers for feudum. So I mean, I'm just thinking out loud. So your clouded are your cavalry, correct?
yes, so
So
February might be, you know, a cavalry attachment or the
Mhm.
monster for elves. So depending on what that is, depends on if we can get, you know, blah blah blah. If even if it's going to fit in the army, I've got to see what the rules are if it's going to fit in the army or not.
Mhm.
For the most part, pretty much I'm just going to be doing. Um, I got my basic army down of what I like and what I'm going to play. It's just going to come down to, you know, do I want to bring that one attachment? Because if that one attachment is in there, I'm going to take something out. But I kind of know what I'm going to take out if I'm going to put something in. So it all depends. So I have the
Yeah.
basic generic package. But and one model by the end of March shouldn't be that much of an issue. It would
Yeah.
be if I had to paint my entire army by the end of March. It would be another issue.
Mhm. And you already have most of them done, so.
No, I don't. I have one model done.
Oh.
I have one model done.
I am the one who's not slacking, technically.
Yeah, Mizzy's got like
Yeah,
almost everything done.
Out of
I have 4 models to paint. If I can't get that done by the end of March, I have a problem.
yeah, you do. But my feudum, I have one test model painted, and the rest are built. The goal for tonight after we're off the air is base them. I have the basing, so put the basing stuff on, like the flock and well, not the flock, the was it that grit,
Oh yeah,
and
the
then
grit.
yeah, and then I will prime them tomorrow, hopefully, and if well throughout the week, and start getting base coats on them, if possible, as soon as possible. Just now that I have the test model done, the feudum should. The goal is to get at least primer on them this week. So painting as we go along.
Yeah. And like I said, I for the painting thing, I want to make sure that I'm not painting just to rush to get it done. I'm painting for the
Mhm.
enjoyment, and I think that's what, you know. Like I says, I'm gonna do things that make me happy, that bring me joy. Blah 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 type thing.
Yeah.
So I mean that's kind of where I'm going on my painting challenge. Nestor Miz, you got anything else you want to add to that?
I'm just gonna say my overarching theme for my resolutions is I'm going to do things with intention and set reasonable expectations for myself.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. What do we got?
So Nestor kind of touched on this a little bit because of Gundam. Because he, not going to buy any more Gundam. And me being myself and going with what I have, I like games. I like RPGs. I like miniature games. I'm a big sucker for a 2-player starter set, and I had to hold myself because there's a new 2-player starter set for a space game, and I was like, I'd like to have this so I could test it out, and I'm like, no. So buying of miniatures is going to be another thing that I'm going to try to hold off on doing this year. Now if I'm buying like a one-off model or whatever, or if I'm buying models to put in my D&D games or my draw steel games or what, that's a whole different story, because that's just an STL that I'm going to 3D print and it's going to be used. But I've got 3 games that Mizzy and I haven't tested out that we need to test because I bought the 2-player starter sets for. And they weren't super expensive, so it wasn't like I was buying 40K size $400 worth of stuff. It was like $100 set, and the other one that was $150, and it looked pretty cool. But I'm like, nope, that is kind of one of my things about buying miniatures. I am going to limit my buy, and I didn't say I wasn't going to, but I'm going to limit how much I'm spending on new stuff that I don't know if I'm going to play or not play.
So if we're uncertain, we're gonna bring a spray bottle and we're gonna spray you with it like a cat. No, Gonzo.
Yeah, because there was a 2-player starter set of a game that I was like, oh man, we don't have a space opera battleship game, and I was like, no,
No, Gonzo, we don't need it.
No.
Exactly.
Because I have Blackout, which we need to try. Carnival, we need to try.
Honestly, I forgot about that one.
Eldfall Chronicles, we need to try. Those are the 3 off the top of my head. We do have Malediction, but those are 3D printed and we're good to go. So that's that's just sitting there. We have Trench Crusade, which is 3D printed and it's sitting there and we can play it anytime. But what else? Is there anything else?
And didn't you say oh my god, the one that Ignition Core does,
Relic Knights.
Relic Knights, Relic Blades.
Oh, and we've got that bought and we're good and solid. Pretty much I'm trying to stop myself from going, oh, brand new game, cool rules, how much? Yeah, no.
Gundam Assemble, probably by
This is not a shut up and take your money situation.
Yeah.
Gundam Assemble, but unfortunately the way it's being the models, and like we have no idea how much it's going to be and if you're going to be able to get the miniatures at a decent price, right? Because the card game is all jacked up. Although recently, because they realized that they screwed up the release, Bandai's like, oh, okay, no, we'll produce more. You should have been doing that in the first place because you knew it was going to be popular. So, but if they do a starter box and it's at decent price, that would, and if you like the game, I don't know if it's going to be at Adepticon. It will be at Gen Con, the demo. So
yeah, I don't know if it is either, and also I don't know if I really want to get, because it's a board game. It's played on the hex map.
It's played on the hex. It's very much like BattleTech and Steel Rift and all these other like BattleTech is a board game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's played on like everything's a board game, but it can be played on a little small mat and you're done. And if it's the same hex mat as I think BattleTech, and Steel Rift, same thing, 3x3. So not a big deal. Um,
Yeah, but that's something I'm kind of like holding off is not buy new things. I bought a bunch of RPGs during Black Friday and Christmas sales and all
mhm.
that stuff, which was fine. Um, that's my collecting thing, and technically for everything that I'm doing, I'm reading it and I'm using it. I've read a couple of the new RPGs that I've got and really liking everything. It's kind of how we got into Draw Steel. Is I found someone that was selling it for a decent price, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And such. So we'll have to wait and see. But one of my things is to limit my spending on miniatures and starter sets. Um,
Yeah,
if it's
that
something
makes
I'm going to
sense.
use, yes, I'll buy it. AKA the Seeing on Elves. Yes.
Mhm.
Um, do I want a second army for Warcrow? Yes. Do I want to buy Scions? Yes, but am I going to buy the 2-player starter set? No. I'll wait till they have an action pack or something if I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's probably a February release because I think the Feudum one was out. Was that Feudum? No, that
No,
wasn't Feudum.
no, that
Which
was
one
something
was
else.
that?
They haven't done the two. They haven't done the
Oh, that was the Northern Tribes.
yeah and
So it'll be a few months.
yeah,
It'll be a
which
few
is fine.
months.
And I can deal with that because I was like, man, I'd really like to have because I like the Scions, I like the models.
Hmm.
Playing demons, not goblins. So we'll have to wait and see. But
Dirty demons.
just have to wait because at Gen Con, Adepticon, so on and so forth, any new games that come out, it's going to have to really, 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 really be very good for me to pick up in any way possible and affordable. You can't
Yeah,
come to me with going, this game's really, really good, but it's going to cost you, $1,000+ for an army. That
I think that's
just can't happen.
I think that's what draws me to Malediction. It's
Mhm.
that it's under $75. Um, and yes, it comes with cardboard cutouts of the models,
Mm-hmm.
right? And of the terrain. If so it's out the box. You can play it, but majority you 3D print it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be you did. I think you could print out all the models except for the terrain, but you can print out all the models in one fell swoop if possible. Um, so that's a couple of hours of printing and cleanup and everything, and you're done. And then you paint them and you put them on the table. But uh, that's that's a damn good deal in my book.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of that. But I don't know if it's going to be a sustainable model
Mm.
type thing. Because even Trench Crusade, so Trench Crusade did the you can 3D print the models, and you can 3D print anything. And you don't have to use their models; you can use whatever. It's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds after a while, because they're making the rules. How are they going to keep the money coming in? But I also
Hmm.
think that we're going to get more games like a Malediction, Trench Crusade. You could buy the models if you want, or we can 3D print them, but it's going
Yeah.
to be different.
What was it? Hips, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could buy the Hips models for Malediction. I mean, yeah, not Malediction. French Crusade now, or they're starting to do that. Uh, and yes, you could buy the models and 3D print it, but I like that option. I like that option that you can either print it or you can wait until it's released and you could build it because you don't have access to a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Yes, people say, well, how do you not know someone with a 3D printer? They could be very stingy and not want to print anything.
Yes.
It's expensive and they don't want to be printing sometimes your stuff because they're printing their stuff. Um, although my printer is sitting there and I haven't printed anything since Gen Con. So,
Because you're not running in-person D&D games.
I also, it's the one reason why I haven't bought Malediction is that I have no one to play it with
Yeah.
here. It's the one reason why I haven't bought Trench Crusade. I don't know anyone in the area that plays it. I'm not in touch with the local gaming people as like I once was. Uh, I'm a hermit who lives in his building who doesn't like people. Go away. Spray bottle.
So, and that's something I'm gonna have to do. Anything that new comes out, or any, because I'm gonna try games out. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go when I go to Adepticon. Someone's got a demo of a game. I'm gonna try a demo of the game.
Same.
But it's gonna have to be something very, very good for me to even remotely think about it, and it's got to be price reasonable. Um, the days of spending, $500-$600 on an army, I don't want to do that
No.
anymore.
No, I can't.
You know, kind of, Xenon, that's good. Final be done pretty soon. If I do the Scions, sure. But $1,000 on an army, yeah, just can't do that. Just can't do the max FA on stuff and get everything that we need to. Mass battle games, just can't do it. I even saw there was a game that had, you could 3D print the entire army, and it was like $200 for all the STL files. And I was like, yeah, you could do that. I didn't look at the rules, but I was just kind of going to my head. I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I want to spend $200 just to buy STLs to print a mass battle game again. I don't want to play with 100 plus models anymore, or 70, 60 models anymore, type thing. I did find another game that I was looking at, and I didn't know the rules or anything, but I was like, it was like an epic scale type game, and all the models were really small. I was like, oh, that kind of sounds neat, and it was like $40 for an entire army for STLs. That's not bad. But then I've got to have someone else to play with, so that's another $40, that,
Yeah.
and to have to do it. And I'm just like, if I can't do it with someone else at a cheap rate, I'm not going to do it either.
Yeah. And the thing is that I did that with Judgment. I did that with a bunch of games, even Steel Rift, where I would buy the game, and Josh would buy the game, and I would be like, "Yo, let's play the game. Let's play the game," and then we would always go back to War Machine or Warhammer, and it really got me tired of, like, I don't want to play War Machine right now. I spent $300 on Steel Rift or Judgment, which was only 6 models, but like I want to play with these games, and it's harder now because in the community it's Warhammer.
Yeah.
Right, like it's Warhammer. Like I have Emperor's Children I bought because I really wanted to play games, and I just don't want to paint 40, 50 models so I can have a broken army, so I can feel cheap at the end of the day. like like look at myself in the mirror and be like, did you really just do that?
Or, I mean, and that's the thing is I have two 40K armies. I have a Tyranid and a Black Templar. I'm going to sell them.
Mhm.
I'm not going to paint them.
Same.
It's just something I'm not going to do. I'm not going to play it. It's nothing. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Space Marines are up for grabs.
Do what?
My Space Marines are also up for grabs.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, what's interesting is they're looking at a new edition again already.
See, I can't keep up with that, man.
Yeah, that's another thing. I can't keep up with it. As I'm like, no,
Who
not going to do
has
it.
time for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like. I have Dark Angels. I have Black Templar. I have just models galore, and it's going to be a fire sale coming in 2026 of that, and any boxes that I told you I have in that corner of like War Machine is getting sent to Seth. anything that's not Gundam related that is for my classes or to be built, or Infinity or Warcraft, right? Because those are, and even Infinity, it's back to okay, Ness, you got hyped up by trying to come back into the game, but let's be real, you're going to play Hawk Islam, um, or and even Next Wave is just it's Aleph, it's just Aleph, which I have, I'm happy, but at the end of the day, it's just whatever I know I'm not gonna play and is not open is getting donated or getting sold in 2026 because I have this house. I want to keep this house where my mom can come in and say, "Well, why do you have so much crap?" And if anyone knows any Latin mothers, you know that they look at your house and no matter how many times they come into it, they always say, "Why do you have so much crap?" So
Yeah, I mean, I've got a box of terrain, but I've got my War Machine armies, selling those. So
yep,
those are going to be going. And that comes down to another thing, is decluttering. This is something I'm going to do in this year, is decluttering
yep,
my collections
that was exactly it.
because I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Don't have the time. I have some board games. I'm going to be donating that to my local group for them to have type stuff, so they can have, because I've got a local group of players that meet almost every week or every other weekend in their tavern, and they play board games nonstop. And so I'm like, and I can go there too, and I can go play board games too. So I'm just going to donate to them so that I can share it with everybody. But I'm going to be decluttering my, section over here. I'm going to have a box for terrain. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The box I use, terrain that I use for War Machine, is getting used in Warcrow. There were just a few pieces that I couldn't use because they were just too big. And then the terrain that I use for what is it? Shatterpoint, just gonna stay there because it's just sci-fi terrain. Just gonna stay there. It's not a big deal. I could probably use some of that if we wanted to for Infinity if need be, but for the most part, that's gonna be a declutter. So I have 3 War Machine armies that are gonna be sold. 2 40K armies that need to be sold. So just gonna put all those up on eBay and say take them. They'll be priced pretty reasonably cheap too, so that way I can just get them out, get a little money, use that money for Adepticon. I'm not allowed to buy paint anymore.
It's because you don't need paint, Gonzo.
No, I don't need paint either.
Do not need paint. Nobody
really-
needs to send him paint. No
really,
paint.
really quick, have you guys tried the Army Painter Speed Paint medals?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are they
I
good?
have the full set.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, they're good.
I'm looking at them now, because I want to do my feudum like like really quick, and just using regular acrylic metals is annoying. So, like, I don't know.
Nestor,
I'm
I
very-
don't know if you can see that or not. That is
Hold on,
speed
sorry.
paint.
Sorry. Yes, I can. Okay, cool.
Speed paints.
Speed paint metals are fine. Speed paints are good no matter what.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I bought a box for I need to, I bought a starter set for Michelle for Christmas, and she loves it. And but I was like, wait a minute, I want to try the speed paints for metallics because GW's contrast paints, they don't do metallics.
Yeah,
They just do regular acrylics, which I have a crap ton of the contrast paints, and I still like them, but I would like to try the metallics from Army Painter to test them out.
Do it. You will not regret it. I enjoy the crap out of them.
I wanted to go into the RPG side of this. One of the things, one of my hobbies is collecting RPGs. I collect them, read them, and I use them for whatever. either as inspiration or I just love reading them. It's my hobby. It's my collection. It's my book. And so I collect RPGs. And if I really don't like the RPG and it turned out really bad, I'll get rid of it and give it away, or trade it off for something else and such. But you will not. I will be buying more RPGs. Doesn't matter. That's just
realistic expectation you got
yes.
there, Gonzo. Love that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's going to continue to happen. But so RPG resolutions, Mizzy, you got any of those?
So I will continue to think about possibly running my own game. I make no promises on whether or not that will actually happen. But I will continue to think about it and put it under serious consideration. My other one,
I'll take that.
I want to play a bard. What that looks like, I don't know. But I do want to try playing a bard at some point.
In which system?
Right? I was about to ask.
Daggerheart or Drawsteel, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But I want to get out of my shell. It's something that I haven't played or tried to play, maybe. I might have thought about an idea. Anyway, point is, it has not executed itself in the way that I want to. So we'll see. Hopefully that'll turn out great and, do awesome stuff and cause shenanigans and fuckery for Gonzo.
That's the end goal for everybody.
Yes. Nestor, what you got?
Well, I want to run a couple of one-shots for Alien, because that's always a tried and true system for me. I want to run a one-shot for Fallout, because I like the system. I just got outgunned.
Yep.
By Free League Publishing. It's actually not Free League publishes it, but it's another publisher who makes it. So, Two Little Mice makes this. So, it's basically a Michael Bay movie or a on crack. So, it just looks really cool. It's one of those like you like Face Off. Let's do a game on Face Off, and something. There's a couple of one shots just to speed up, kind of break up the same old fantasy games and sci-fi, alien sci-fi. Fallout is post-apocalyptic, and Outgun is just mindless fun. So every so often I want to try to do like every 4 months, try to do like a one shot, kind of like how Gonzo does his one shots, with just have fun and just continue learning Daggerheart, running Daggerheart, getting the continued prequels going for conventions if possible, and just having a blast. I just want to run and play,
Yeah.
like I just want, if Mizzy's gonna run a game, or Ariel's gonna run a game, or Josh is gonna run a game, or Gonzo's gonna run a game, and they ask me to be in it, I'm gonna do my best to be in it. That's my goal.
Yeah, and I feel like that for me, that's what I'm feeling like for the year is like in gaming in general is I want to play more games because we were at Warfare Weekend. I was watching y'all across from where I was at for registration, and I was like, motherfucker, I got FOMO so bad, and I'm right here because I want to play games.
And you're chatting with us at the same time. Like, he's making you sad, isn't he? Yes, he is. Like,
yeah. I mean,
it's like I know that look. I've made that look.
Yep.
You looked at it and you're like, nah. I know that one.
Yep.
I know what fuckery he's doing right now.
Yep. But I got something for his fuckery. Don't worry about it.
Oh, so Busy and I played a game 2 weeks ago or whatever, and yeah, we started looking at it, and the fuckery I did, it was like a lot of, it was bullshit. Even I looked at Mizzy and says, this is bullshit. And so we started to figure out, to tweak her list to go against not only my bullshit but everybody's bullshit. And we think we've got a pretty good orc list that's gonna go. No.
Yeah.
If I can get past Gonzo's bullshit, I will feel accomplished.
Right. No, that's exactly it. It's like it's not
That's
even
where I'm at.
like that feeling where you just killed a model. I know that feeling, right? Like I
Yeah.
killed a bunch of his archers. I was like, yes, this is.
And then the
exact-
motherfuckers came back.
No, no, no. Oh,
So
you're near. Oh, I'm near a tree. I ignore a wound. Fuck you.
in our game, I managed to kill one model several times, but because these motherfuckers have regenerative abilities,
Mhm.
he's like, they said, "Fuck you, we coming back," and I'm like, "That's rude. You need to stay
It is
dead."
rude. It's not even. It's not even like. Oh, It's not even. Oh, you do a wound. It's I do a wound, and then he says, "Oh, I ignore a wound," right?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm near a tree.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Like, well, fuck you, I'm burning the forest. You wonder why people burn forests, right?
This is why we can't have trees. This is why we can't have
Yes.
nice things.
Yes. And then it's my fault because my dumbass was near the objective that was near a tree. The other objective, he didn't touch it. You know why? Because he wasn't near a tree. So charged it.
Oh, only Xenons can prevent forest fires.
Wonder Feudum is going on a religious crusade of burning the trees. That's it. It's just why. But yeah.
And then from the flames, the scions erupt from the ground.
Yes.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
This is a alliance of convenience I'm okay with.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we actually worked on her list a bit and came down to she'll have one model that'll say "fuck you"
Fuck
to
you,
a lot
I'm gonna take you out.
yeah, to a lot of to not a lot but to a decent amount of shenanigans stuff in the orc army, which is going to be interesting to see because most people don't use the model. But
If I can do it right.
yeah,
Right, and that's the thing. It's always timing.
Yeah.
So
And remembering.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. Resolution wise, like making a promise to myself. I am building a goddamn cheat sheet so I can remember things when I'm playing a game.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's the triggering effects in a game are hard,
Mhm.
right? And it's harder when you're playing in a speed type of scenario, right?
Yeah.
You have 90 minutes to play a game, but something's off, right? And you forget one thing, and it cascades because you forgot that
Yep.
one thing. You forgot 10 other things that happened after
Yep.
that.
Mhm.
That's why Magic the Gathering is like it's easy to learn, hard to master, because it's like where does things happen on the stack? And while tabletop games don't have a stack, yes they do, because Gonzo's defensive abilities of when he got charged, his switches go off first, then my switches, and then whatever my switches do affect him, and then whatever affects him can also be affected by other abilities. And if you miss anything 2 turns from now, oh, I should have had a model come back this turn. Too bad, so sad, so sorry.
Yep.
In a learning scenario, you'll be like, oh sure, but in a convention tournament,
Nah, bro. That's
nah,
on
bro.
you.
Even on a narrative event, there's only so much you can give away.
Right.
You know, like if it was your turn and you forgot at your turn, but it's only been one turn, right? Like it's my turn. I killed your models. It's your turn now. You forgot at the beginning of your step to do something, but you forgot. You remembered midway. Perfect. As long as it doesn't tip the scale too much.
Yeah.
But if you remember 2 turns after I've done something, nah, bro. Sorry.
well, it's interesting because when Mizzy and I were playing, I was like, I charge in. Yeah, you don't get any switches. What? I'm like, yeah, and I have 2 units that do that, and it's such a ball breaker not to get
It's nasty.
switches, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
type thing. So
I have 2 answers for those. I'm hoping to test it out against Tip Sword, and if I can make Tip Sword tilt, I have done my job. I don't care if I lose. I don't care if he kicks me out and I have to sleep on Wapple's sofa. Like,
But-
what happened? I made him tilt and he kicked me out. It was worth it. I don't care. I think I got to go back and get my toothbrush though. Actually, you know what? He can keep it. I don't even know what he's done with it.
I don't think you want to know what he's done to it.
Yeah, no.
Do we have any other holiday hobby or any other type of resolutions that y'all had?
I will be playing a lot more card games in 2026. One, because Michelle and I like to play Magic the Gathering. 2, I want to try to get to play more Gundam because I played it at Warfare Weekend and that was a lot of fun. The gentleman that played with us in the RPG, I keep forgetting his name.
Which one? Describe him for me.
Bald. He had
Barry?
Barry, yes, because I know him on Discord as Tech Lee. So, but Barry was nice enough to get me started and teaching me on the game more, and we played like 3 games, him and I played with another gentleman as well, with Barry, and we just had a blast. It was so much fun. And I found out you can play virtually, which is kind of cool. So I want to try to get more card games just to kind of break up the monotony of like focusing just on miniatures a little bit. So, and that'll be my other vice since I can't spend money on Gundams. I can spend money on Magic the Gathering. But the fact that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comes out as a commander set, I will be happy. Like, and Star Trek at the end of the year. Like, I was like, oh, Star Trek. Everyone's like, no, why do you need a Star Trek Magic the Gathering?
Because Star Trek,
It's-
duh.
First off, I want the instant that says engage because it's Jean-Luc Picard. I don't even know what the card does, but I know that card has to exist. I need the card that with Worf. I need like the Defiant or something. Like, I need stuff to just fuel my Star Trek nerdiness. Okay, I'm done.
Mizzy, you have anything?
Not really. I mean, like I said, it's just I really want to focus on playing games, having fun, and doing things with intention, and
Mhm.
recognizing my own limitations of things. Managing those unrealistic expectations that I give myself.
All right. So we're going to go into our media section. This will be a spoiler episode, so if you don't want to be spoiled on Stranger Things, don't listen. You have 5 seconds to get out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're going to talk about Stranger Things. Mizzy,
Okay, bye.
Mizzy is not a Stranger Things fan. Didn't watch all the series and everything. Just wasn't her jam.
I have a good reason. I cannot talk about that reason, but I have a good reason.
That's completely fine.
Yeah.
Everyone, look, everyone, no one has to like.
Nobody has
no
to
one
like
has to
everything.
like the show, right?
Yeah.
But what was interesting was, I was looking at it, and of course we watched it. We're going to talk about the final episode, the 2-hour episode, 2-hour movie. It wasn't an episode; it was a movie.
It was a movie, yeah.
But the one thing I wanted to say about this, what I really would have liked is if this would have continued the way it started with a new season every year. Because if you think about it, it took twice as long. It took 10 years to do 5 seasons. And when it started out, we were getting a new season every year. And of course,
I think the longest we waited was 18 months.
Oh no. No, there was
I mean, like at first.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a little bit of break. But I was like, I think I love the series, don't get me wrong. I'm not I'm not dogging on it, but it would have been really good to have the series come out every year than have these kids, because if you look at them when they started to where they're at now, you know, it completely different. It would have been interesting to see them grow up year by year by year, and I think we would have actually seen a different story, in my opinion. Um, because technically we went from like, oh, we're middle school kids, blah blah blah, blah, my first kiss, to I'm killing everybody, you know, and these kids went from being little kids to adults super quick, because we waited, you know, a couple of years between type thing, and it was very interesting. If a series ever comes along that can do this, the waiting over a year for a new season just can't happen anymore, because I think they lost some momentum. Don't get me wrong, still a good series, still fun. I'm glad we got an ending, sort of. But I wish shows that do really well like this, that and get really popular like this, do it every year, type thing.
So I think, okay, they were what, sixth grade or sixth grade in the first season,
Yeah, something like that.
and then second season they were in seventh grade. I feel, yeah, because they it was Halloween the year after, and then they were eighth grade the next year, and then high school season four. But season three and season four had such a long hiatus, not as long as season four and season five, but they had like 18 to 2 years between seasons at that point.
Yeah, so it was 2016, then 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and then season 3 was 2019. So there's 2 years.
Right,
Season 4, which was a May and July, was 2022. So 19, 20, 21, 22, almost 3 years.
right, right. Because of COVID,
Yeah.
they took they had COVID, and I think, when was the writer strike?
Yeah.
2023.
Don't know off the top of my head. But then, of course, you know, the final season was 2025. So 3 years from season 4.
Mhm. Yeah, because the writer strike happened,
Yep.
so they didn't have the script. So when they finally went back to work, they had to wait for the script, and then they took a year of 2024 to 2025 to film season 5.
Yeah.
Right, all of it. And so, like, the delays were not
Entirely.
just
Yeah.
it's entirely not their fault.
Yeah.
Part of it, right?
Part of it.
Like, I get COVID. The moment COVID was clear, they went back to work. The moment, the same with the writer strike, because, but the writer strike gave the freedom of the other. I mean, because of the writer strike and COVID, that was enough time. I mean, obviously these are young adults now.
Oh yeah.
You know,
So I really wish we could have gotten a season per year,
Mhm.
every year. You could have had a few months delay, no big deal. I'm not worried about that. But I think the story and the way it all played out would have been a whole lot different, and I think it probably would have been better, in my opinion. Plus, it would have kept the hype and everything else going, because after a while, people are like, okay, okay. And then it finally happened. You're like, yay, okay, it's done now. But so the final episode movie aired. I watched it as soon as it came out. It's the second time that I guess Netflix has been crashed by Stranger Things, because everybody was watching it, which is good. It means that there are people are willing to watch something really good. I'm gonna go with this. I enjoyed the last episode, and I enjoyed getting an ending. I just wish the ending was not left open. I think, to me, I don't want to say it's lazy, but give me an ending. It's your story. End it. If you want to open it for some interpretation, to me, it feels like a cop out in a way. And that's kind of what happened. is they left it up for interpretation and for people to speculate. And I'm sure it's probably from a standpoint for movies or, whatever reason to do that. But to me, and we've been talking about this in our chat for like the last week or so. I do not believe. I think in my heart of hearts that she would have sacrificed herself and killed herself just so nobody else had to get hurt because of her. Now, do we bring up speculation of, okay, she didn't have blood coming from her nose, didn't have this, didn't have that, so on and so forth? Sure. But they've been known to not hold to their, stories and their things all the time. Example, scars on the mother disappearing in shoots.
That could be one of two things, kind of like the Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Or the Under Armour logo on Holly.
Yeah.
It could be just oops,
yep.
I forgot, right? Because you get those attentive people who notice that, right? There are people who will look at every slot, every piece of a video and be like, pause next, pause next, pause next.
Yeah.
And because they're probably wanna that's fine. I don't have that much time.
No. But what works for me about the whole thing is that they did an interview just recently. It was like yesterday, or it was released just yesterday, that the Duffy brothers and Millie know exactly what happened to 11. And they refuse to tell everybody. And to me, that kind of irks the crap out of me.
But what could also be is that they really don't.
Well, no, they said in their interview that they said that they exactly know what happened. The Duffy brothers told Millie, and Millie was told not to tell Noah, I guess, or not to tell anybody what her true ending was. And I was like, just do it the show. And honestly, I think it would have given more levity and I would have felt more emotion if she would have just died and there wasn't this, maybe she is alive type thing.
I'm my opinion on that as well.
Yeah.
So I actually do believe with my daughter. But it's also what I enjoyed the final episode. I actually enjoyed the season. I'm not one of those. Is it perfect? No. I'm not gonna go back and nitpick on 300 different things because one, I'm not that type of person. I'm going to enjoy the show. I'm going to enjoy the story. Is it perfect? No. Nowhere near it. But is it a perfect ending? No. With Mike's story, does it have holes in it? Yes. But that he is the storyteller, right? So maybe it's his, as you mentioned, it's his way of coping.
Yeah.
I personally do believe, I personally like the way it ended. The ambiguousness of it kind of gives me that Inception feel. People hate that ending, right? Because you don't know. I don't care. I don't want to know. I'm a storyteller myself. I can make up my own story of whether Jane lives, what happens to Hopper and Joyce in Montauk, right? Like I can do that. I can do that for days. I can do that forever. It's called fan fiction, right? Like some people, yes, I could, but again, I want a real ending sometimes, right? Like I want to know what happens to Max and Lucas. I want to know what happens to Will. Does he go get therapy? Does he become a drug and alcoholic? Right? Because my man has suffered some crap.
Yeah.
Does Steve suffer some sort of alcoholism or drug addiction because of the stress of everything, right? Because let's put it Steve was the hero. Steve was one of the main heroes. He suffered so much yeah, everybody had their near death experiences except for Nancy because she's a total badass.
Rambo.
Um, you can walk them down Wheeler, I tell you. Um, the fact that she got to pit her shooting abilities against Sarah Connor in my book was awesome. Um, but yeah, there's holes in all of this. But I'm not calling them plot holes. I'm just saying there's holes in the story. Doesn't make it part of the plot. Plot and story are different. Plot advances the story. Story is just the general stuff going on. Erica is not, because Erica did not have a huge epilogue, does not make it a plot hole. It just
Yeah.
wasn't advancing the story. Erica was a secondary character, not a major character. People
Correct.
can argue about that left and right, but she was not there in season 1 going through the problems. She didn't have a real growing up part until season 3.
Now,
So,
you know what I really liked about the whole thing? And actually, I feel that it's not part of the L story, even though it was them hanging up their books. So that D&D session was great because
yeah.
there's a Mizzy, when you see it, you're gonna go, "This is you," type thing. Mizzy said she's going to watch the 2 hour
I,
episode.
I will
And-
watch the one episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
But-
have watched it beforehand, but then I misunderstood the assignment and I started at the first episode of the last season.
No worries.
And then I said I ain't got time for it.
Yeah. The them playing D&D at the very end was the perfect ending to me. If you take out the "I believe" and you just use it that they believe in themselves type thing, because I liked everything, saying, so and so get to do this, so and so does this, and it shows them kind of growing up or whatever. But it's the end of, because you can see that they both, to me, it's like, this is the end of our childhood.
Mhm.
This is 100%. We are hanging up our books. Not that we're no longer going to play D&D, but they're no longer going to play D&D.
Yeah.
They're done. And then they they start putting their books away. And, I me and you talked about this. This, I see us in it no matter
Yeah.
what, because we craft stories, we write stories, we do stuff, we have a good time, we role play, and then you eventually have to stop.
Yeah.
When? You don't know. But that right there was them, ending that. I did find it. Go ahead.
I can tell you right now, exactly the same time is when my original party stopped, is when we graduated high school.
Yeah.
Because I never had the same players ever again.
Yep.
We're talking 30 years ago when I graduated high school. Jesus Christ. When I ran my first, the group of players that I played with stopped playing. All of them stopped playing for, I think, 2 years. So even when we played, it was never the full set of players.
Yeah.
We were missing 1 or 2 players because people grow, people break apart, kind of like Nancy and Jonathan and Steve and Robin. Oh, we'll meet once a month, and deep down they're not going to.
Yeah.
And that was a little heartbreaking for me, is that kind of, as an adult, you see someone say that and deep down it's total bullshit.
Well, I mean, and it's also the ending part where he walks up and it's the young kids, the other new middle school kids getting into the game and doing it and getting ready to play. His sister, being the GM and so on and so forth. I mean, that's kind of how it is. And you can see that he was sad in the first, and then eventually he smiles and blah blah blah. And it comes to the fact that it's over, but someone else is going to play.
Right. Like, kind of the way I wished my daughter had continued. She had spent 2 years playing with us. And I was hoping that she would continue to play. Like, and she out nerds her friends at school all the time. And even like, oh, what do you know about D&D? Well, my dad's been playing D&D for over 30 years. Shut the hell up. Like, you know,
Well,
but she, and she went a different route. I can't say, oh, I'm disappointed. No, that's just where kids go. She showed interest, but now anytime, hey, we're gonna play D&D or we're gonna play whatever, she'll be like, nah, I'm okay. Okay.
yeah,
She'll be happy, but and I it and I'm thankful for Stranger Things because of that. I
very much
spent
so.
yeah. So she first was interested, and we were playing all during the Stranger Things time. She's like, "Oh, I want to play D&D because I saw it on Stranger Things." Okay.
Well, and that's the thing is that also brought people into the game too. The one thing that I liked about this is they put the nerd culture in the spotlight and not negatively. It was celebrated. Also, what I really liked is, uh, for Eddie, Eddie wasn't the bad guy,
No.
even though he was the one that was, treated like crap in high school. They did not make him the bully. They made him just any other guy, but just a heavy metal dude. And I think that was like one of the first few times I've seen a heavy metal, I put quotes around that, person not portrayed as the bully or the bad guy. Um, so I thought that was really interesting and really good. I'm glad
And
they
they
didn't. I'm glad they didn't bring back Eddie or did that because it makes his death less heroic if they were to bring him back.
mm, the
Uh,
it's kind of how Dustin became the new pariah,
yeah,
um, because he still wore his Hellfire Club shirt, and he still wanted to play D&D, and um it carried on, and that's the way, um unfortunately it was back then, right? Like
hmm,
the 80s was like, oh, it's devils. And
yep.
my mom was very anti me playing role playing games growing up because that's all she heard. And I'm like, no, mom, I'm playing Cyberpunk. I'm playing, so there's no devil worshipping in Cyberpunk. You know, there's me linking up to a computer and doing cool stuff. Um,
The computer has the devil in it.
yeah, exactly. My mom, but I think I broke it down to my mom when I was in high school. I was like, look, I'm not going out partying, right?
Yeah.
My friends are here on the weekend, and I'm home from 2 to 10 o'clock at night. You know, I'm playing role playing games with my friends,
Yeah.
and then you kick them out, and then I go take a shower and go to bed. Like,
Well,
hello.
even when I had parents that were like, "No, that's the devil's game. You can't play." And I'm like, "I'm going to play it."
Mm-hmm.
And because I was around during the Satanic Panic, and D&D was very big. I mean, hell, Mazes and Monsters with Tom Hanks, that was a
Mm-hmm.
big thing, and it put a negative light on role playing games for a while. And so when this show came out and they were and I watched the first episode and they were playing D&D right off the bat, I'm like, hell yeah! And it's an '80s time frame, yes.
Yep.
So they did
Yep.
a lot of good with this series,
Yeah.
a lot of good, it kind of reminds me that I wouldn't say surprising, but it's an '80s show, and there's a lot of shows going back to the '80s, and when they do it, it's actually pretty good. But there's a lot of things you can do, a lot of things that happens in an '80s timeline that you can't do in modern day timeline. Like tracking your kids.
Yeah.
I
Well,
had someone at work that actually asked me, "Did you get to do whatever the hell you wanted when you were a
yes.
kid?" I says, "I was kicked out of the house and
Yep.
told not to come back
Yep.
for until the streetlights came on."
I was 7 or 8 years old going to play outside in the Bronx uh every day in the summer
Yeah.
and come upstairs when the lights came on.
Yep.
So it is a true thing. We didn't have a fire hydrant. I mean, a fire hose. We had a fire hydrant to get water from. And that thing was on every day during the summer. and you can get icy from a little old lady who had a cooler, um, in a shopping cart, and she would sell smoked candies and such. Um, but Karen Wheeler was the GPS mom. She knew where all the kids were at all times because she knew where Mike and Nancy were. So anytime Dustin would come by, where's Mike? Oh, he's at Lucas's. Oh, where's Nancy? Oh, she's at this person's. And then he'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Ted Wheeler was your stereotypical '80s dad.
Yes.
And that was, as much as I hated the man, he fit the bill.
Pretty much so.
But '80s, like, it's not my job to raise these kids. It's my wife's job. And Karen Wheeler stood up to be one of the best moms on the show, next to Joyce. So, because of this season.
Yeah, and they hit the '80s aspect very
Mhm.
well.
Yes.
The technology,
hair.
you don't know where the hair, the clothes, but yeah, I mean, literally, I don't know how many times during the '80s and even the '90s, beginning of the '90s, where I would grab my skateboard and be gone, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't come back. My parents never knew where I was 90% of my summertime.
Yep. I would take my bike. I'd go downstairs. I'd ride around. I would start, water gun fights and play baseball and whatever. And as soon as the light turned on, or it was
Better-
5 o'clock in the evening, get upstairs.
Yep, get your ass back.
Yeah, but
And I think that's what really mattered in this is they really hit the '80s nerd genre and geek aspect very good, and then of course it evolved, and then they hit the aspect of doing what they did, and the ending of the childhood and ending and going into adulthood. I think that really did very well for the show. Do I think that we're going to get another hit like Stranger Things in a while? No. I think people are going to try. I don't know if it's going to hit. I don't even know. I don't even know if the spinoff that they're talking about is actually going to do it. Is going to do well either.
it's supposed to be at a different decade. It is not with Joyce and Hopper.
It's supposed to be the story about The Rock.
Right, and
Is
that
it?
can be the 1940s.
Yeah, we're not sure, but I don't know if it's going to
Right.
hit well enough.
Right. There's also supposed to be uh an animated series that takes place between season 2 and 3.
Yep.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that. But I mean, right now I'm just waiting for The Pit season 2.
Thursday.
Yep. My daughter has already reminded me. I have told her yes, I know. But I'm a huge Noah Wiley fan since ER and The Librarians and all the other shows that he's done.
Well, guys, we are past time. We got to going and raving and ranting on this, and not really bad. We want to thank the Stranger Things crew. It was a really good show. Really hits home. There are a lot of people that are asking about games, role playing games that are very much like it. You can do Kids on Bikes. Is probably the best ones you could go with for that aspect and everything. Kids on Brooms, if you wanted to do that.
Tales from the Loop.
Tales from the Loop is another one that you could go with. But I don't know if there's really any big series that's going to be this big of a hit or a cultural phenomenon. The next big series that I'm looking forward to is season 2. Most likely going to be Derry and Alien Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if they can do that because those are going to be the next big ones. I haven't seen of really anything big new coming out that's going to be awesome, but hopefully we can get some new stuff. I'm tired of remakes.
Do you watch Fallout at all?
I did watch Fallout. I am caught up on that, and it's been pretty decent. This
Yeah,
season's
it's
been
fun.
pretty good. So, I will
And
just have to.
that's only been, it was April of 2024 and it's December 2025 when it first started. So it's got it's a little over a year,
Yeah.
but it's still pretty decent. It's still fresh in my mind. So.
Yeah. So. Well, guys, we appreciate you listening, you watching. We appreciate you hanging out. Next week we'll be talking about why Warcrow. And we'll go over our aspects of why we're playing that and why it has become one of our number one games. So, for More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm Mizzy.
I'm Nessie.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for listening to More Than Dice, making the world a better, nerdier place, one dumb joke at a time. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. For more nerdy action or to connect with your hosts, check them out on Facebook.com/morethandice and Twitch.tv/more_than_dice. Until next time, stay nerdy, stay proud, and we'll see you soon on the More Than Dice podcast.